One thing I have noticed about a lot of underground artists is that they're chasing visibility before even building their identity as artists. Everybody wants motion. Everybody wants clips. Everybody wants a viral moment. Everybody's chasing the same goddamn thing. But very few artists feel like they're grounded in what feels like their passion. And that's why CashRouteGumz stood out immediately to me. Because this doesn't just feel like a random underground artist. The momentum that he's creating feels very structured. The music sounds intentional, and the visual world that he's building feels very connected. Even just the way he talks about his ambitions in his music feels a little different. And honestly, these are the type of artists that last. So hi, my name is Vert, aka D Soul from Off the Grid Collective, and this is Underground Artist Spotlight. Alright, so what separates Gumz from all the other artists that are coming up in the scene right now? Like, to put it into one word, I would say patience. It doesn't feel like there's panic in his music, and maybe panic isn't the right word to use, but it just doesn't feel like anything's rushed in his whole catalog. The way that he delivers music, the way that he speaks about his music, the way that he presents himself as an artist, nothing feels rushed. Everything feels like it is part of the bigger plan. Like, everything that he's working towards is cohesive in a way. So a lot of artists, I noticed they rap like they're hungry. They're chasing validation. They're trying to prove to themselves that they are who they are. This need for validation that's created by this socio-economical environment that we're in. But Gumz's approach to his records are calm and confident. It feels like he already sees the bigger picture. Now that mindset alone is what sets him apart from other artists. Because when artists start thinking about their ownership and how they want to move in this world, that's when the consistency, the infrastructure, and the longevity of the artist start to show up. And even lyrically, you can see that he's heavily focused on progression instead of the performance of what he's trying to do. It doesn't feel like look at me, I'm an artist kind of thing. You know what I mean? I feel like he's operating like a business. You know, it's just like, here's the system I'm building, here's what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing it. And ironically, that patience usually creates a stronger momentum than somebody who's trying to force their identity onto the scene. Another reason why his whole thing already feels so advanced already is because he's already thinking about his branding. Like, Conepiece Collective doesn't just feel like another random aesthetic packaging to his music. It feels connected to an actual creative foundation. And Gumz having a background in media and design before pursuing his music career really shows and creates a different perspective onto his branding as well. Because artists who understand the visual concept of the world, who understand visually how they want to present themselves, usually start differentiating themselves than the others in the crowd. They understand the atmosphere, consistency, the whole world building around what it is to be an artist in this day and age. So I feel like a lot of his visuals don't feel too random. If we all live in this same world where Gumz is trying to create the authenticity from where he's speaking from. None of the visuals feel accidental. Everything feels homegrown. And that's probably one of the biggest things that makes me really want to listen to his music, is the fact that it feels so homegrown to me. I remember I found a CD when I was young at the house that we moved into, and it was just like, I for sure wish I kept that CD, but it was basically a couple of rap bros that like made a CD and then they left it in the garage that I had. And it reminds me of just like real old school OG music, where he's speaking from the heart about his struggles and how he's gonna make it out of here and how he's gonna bring up everybody who's along with this journey. Unity. The presentation just feels more cohesive, all spit together. And like in the underground, like, it's not as common to see people in the early stage of building a career to be this cohesive with his branding, with his identity. Like, he knows who he is, type of thing. So this helps come out in the music a lot. And the realm that he's operating in is like most people are dropping tracks like, here's my music, check it out, here's my music, check it out. But the way that I see Gumz is moving in his atmosphere of people is that here's what I'm building, here's what I'm building. Now those are two different aspects to saying like, oh, here's some music that I dropped, and then this is what I'm building. Music that I drop, this is what I'm building. Like, what I'm building invites the crowd, invites the fan base, invites people into your world. Whereas, like, oh, here's what I dropped, blah. Like, it doesn't hit the same no more. It just doesn't feel it doesn't feel the same. So out of Gum's catalog, he's currently got, I think, about 10 songs out on all streaming platforms, and I had to listen to all of them. The overall message in all his music is about ownership, loyalty, friendships, making it out, and making sure you stay true to yourself. Now, I might be generalizing a lot of those topics, but that's the gist of what I kind of got from all of his music, and that's what I really kind of find motivating about his music too, is that when I'm listening to like especially freestyle, I had to listen to freestyle, and like it's probably one of the most clearest songs that Gums made in terms of like what the intent of the song is. Like, bro just raps 3 minutes straight into that thing, and like he rips into it, and it's good. Like, it's good real rap. I love that shit. Energy in that is calm, but it's not like passive calm. It's just going. And like, I don't know specifically where he draws a lot of his inspirations from the music that he listens to, but to me, the style that he's going towards now, and the jazzy beats that he's been working with K-Dub, shout out to K-Dub, like the way that he's been making music and locking in with this producer reminds me of Larry June. Now, Larry June and The Alchemist like linked up, and they've been just dropping bangers. Like, they've been just dropping shit that really hits the soul with the speaking truth, and the cadence and the delivery of it just really reminds me of how the duo Larry Junes and The Alchemist. Like, Alchemist is a legendary producer, like, regardless. And so like K-Dubs maybe drawing a lot of inspiration from the West Coast, from that kind of like East Coast West Coast bounce kind of genre, and that's most of like, I guess, New Zealand hip hop kind of draws a lot of inspiration from the early 90s hip hop culture, and I can definitely hear that in a lot of Gum's music. Another one of his tracks I really liked was Don Juan. Now, Don Juan was a trippy one to listen to, because like obviously I listened to Don Juan first without doing any research on who Don Juan was, and he must be some cartel boss or something, which true, he was. The whole mentality of the song, of being a don, being a cartel leader, being a boss, like that really is spoken very evidently through the ownership mentality in his music and in that track Don Juan. And lyrically, some of the stuff that he's saying is like is pretty insane for somebody who's just starting out as an artist. Like bro's been making music for like 2-3 years now, properly releasing, and the quality of his penmanship is second to none. Like, I'm saying, like, if he keeps working on his metaphors, his deliveries, like, the sky's the limit. Well, the sky ain't no limit. Like, it could go straight. It can go far. It can go far, man. He can go real far if he continues his penmanship. And probably my favorite track from CashRouteGumz is probably Sanguine Dreams. Like, the way that, oh man, like 99 everything, that's a mean build.
99 all rounder, that's a mean build.
Posted up like Khajiit, I got mean deals.
Posting up like Khajiit, I got mean deals. On a sanguine dream, I can't see still.
What? Like, bro, like that's next level thinking, you know, mixing aiming analogy with rap analogy with trap elements. Like, bro's really thinking about how to express his ideologies. And you know, everything in Sanguine Dreams is literally talking about Skyrim, but the way he delivers things is still staying true to Cash Route, like, you know, still staying true to that. And I just felt like listening to all these tracks back to back has some serious replay value, and I can't wait for him to like just share the fuck out of it. I love finding artists, and I love discovering artists who are building momentum. And that's what OTG is here for. Is we're a platform where we want to discover these people, be the first to put a spotlight onto them to the greater public. And you know, as an honorary member of the collective now, Cash, like, I'm forever gonna support you because you are now part of the collective. And the real truth nowadays is that the virality side of the music industry is always gonna be there, but that's not what builds careers anymore. Like, becoming viral doesn't build a career anymore. Like 2 years ago, if you got viral, you might get picked up by a manager and do this and do that and do that. But nowadays the landscape landscape's like seriously changed. If you go viral, infrastructure to support the virality, because you could get 1 billion eyes, but not a single person would actually go and follow you on your Spotify, will actually go and check out your Instagram. They'll also go and interact with your content. It's just views at the end of the day. Eyeballs are eyeballs, you know? They're not gonna do anything. And at this stage, CashRoute feels less like an artist that is testing waters with what he's trying to accomplish, more like an artist that is quietly building and executing his creative endeavors. The reason his momentum kind of feels different is because he's not building in an obnoxious, loud way where he's in your face about what he's doing. And honestly, those are the types of artists that is usually worth paying attention to, as you let the work speak for itself. Because by the time the wider audience kind of catches a drift of it, his foundation will be already built. It will be so solid where it'll be able to support the virality that his own mana is gonna bring into this whole thing. So I suggest everybody go and tap in and check out CashRouteGumz. He's definitely got a whole lot of projects coming up in the near future. So this has been Vert, aka D Soul, and this was Off the Grid Underground Artist Spotlight. Peace.
Hey, you. Finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush.